Now I would request Dr. Rahman Rasool Faridi to please start the session. Please.
Fine, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Arman Rasool Faridi. I'm Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University, and I'm coordinator of this event. Today, we are presenting a webinar on the topic Technology Trends, Corporate Culture, and Career Growth. The speaker of this webinar is a proud alumnus of the Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University, Mr. Tehseen Ahmed, and he has joined us from Düsseldorf, Germany. Dear participants, before we get started, I would like to assure you that you can surely interact with today's speaker. A short question and answer session will be held at the end of the presentation. If you have any question for the speaker about the presentation, please type them clearly. Your question would be properly framed, and do also type your name into the chat window. I will try to collect these and address them during the question and answer session, that is at the end of today's presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have planned a series of such interactions in the form of webinars. This one is the first in the series. The idea is to primarily connect the alumni of the Department of Computer Science, AMU, who are closely watching the trends and growth prospects and have acquired vast experiences in the industry over the years, with the present lot or with the fresh technocrats, so that the present lot or the fresh technocrat may get benefited with the rich real life experiences of their seniors. Surely in future, we shall also welcome other speakers from academia and industry as well. Friends, I'm happy that we have received overwhelming response from our alumni and participants. Our next webinar would most probably be on the topic related to entrepreneurship and startups, which would be presented by one of our alumnus from USA, and that may be organized in the last week of this month. For today's webinar, we have around 225 registered participants, out of which we have with us 25 teachers as participants who are from various departments in the university. We have 10 participants from industry and 190 students from local, national, and international universities. Apart from these, other non-registered participants and some alumni are also joining us, and I welcome all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us all the teachers of the Department of Computer Science, Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali Sahab, Chairperson of the Department of Computer Science and convener of this event, Professor Asim Zafar, Director of PMNF Computer Center, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan. Also joining us today is Mr. Rajit Sikka, Head Academic Relations, North India, Tata Consultancy Services Limited. I welcome them all. Ladies and gentlemen, now without further ado, I come to the business, and following the traditions of the Aligarh Muslim University, I would like to formally start today's session with the recitation of the Holy Quran, and I request Dr. Faisal Anwar, Assistant Professor of Department of Computer Science, to recite few holy verses. Dr. Faisal, over to you.
Thank you, Arman sir. I'm reciting verse number 7, 8, and 9 from chapter number 55. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. And the heaven he raised and imposed the balance, that you not transgress within the balance, and establish weight in justice, and do not make deficient the balance. Thank you so much, Arman sir. It is over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Faisal, for beautiful recitation and translation for the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, our Dean, respected Dean, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali Saab, is with us. He is a very senior professor and, of course, a very serious senior person because he has a lot of responsibilities. He has a very busy schedule, and despite his prior engagements, he has spared some time for today's webinar on a request. Considering his busy schedule, I would like to begin with him. So may I request Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali Saab to say a few words to the audience. Over to you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, and very nice good evening to everyone. It's really great pleasure that we have here Chairman, Department of Computer Science, Professor Asim Zafar, Dr. Aman Rasul Faridi and his team. And we have Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan, the Director of Computer Center, Mr. Rajiv Sikka, and Mr. Tahseen, our old student, and all the participants and colleagues and the students. It's a really great opportunity for the students to get benefited from these kind of programs which are being organized by the dynamic team of our Department of Computer Science. I'm really very happy that they are trying their best in this difficult time of pandemic. They are organizing these capacity building webinars, and I hope that its results would be tremendous, because the resource person has been the student of this department, and he is there in Germany. And I'm quite hopeful that he would be. He's a nice choice, because he knows what to add, what is already there, and we are getting latest knowledge from the person who is there in a developed country. And this is this webinar is not an alone. I've seen that the department has been organizing these kind of programs for quite a lot in the last 1 year, and they have a long list of these programs which has been shared with me, and I think it is an ongoing process. For Tahseen Saab, I remember that couplet of Tarana, that जो अब यहाँ से उठा है सारे यहाँ पर बरसेगा, खुद अपने में चमन पर बरसा, गैरों के चमन पर बरसा है, खुद अपने चमन पर बरसेगा. So I think it is he is really an example of that he is benefiting back home where he has got all his training. And I'm really very happy to see this, that our alumnus, they are doing well. I mean, as just Chairman Saab has told, and Arman Rasul Faridi Saab has informed, that we are getting help from our old students and in bringing the latest technology to our students. This is the best contribution. I just remind you that in 1947, when India got independence, the government of the time, they had to build in modern India. So there was an offer from all these developed countries to invest money in India, because it was a new market which was opening up. The visionary education minister of that time, Maulana Azad, he requested these developed countries that don't invest, don't give money to us. You establish Indian Institute of Technologies for us. So IIT Kharagpur was the first one which was established. And if I'm not wrong, I think it was from the funds of Germany. Likewise, all these big institutes were created by the fundings from the developed countries. And now you can see the result of these over the last 70 years, how the IITs could contribute in the development of the nation as a whole. So this is involving our students, those who are doing excellent tasks in developed countries and in other fields of in India. It's a really very wise decision of the team at the Department of Computer Science. I wish that this program will be successful, and subsequently some more programs will be there, and I hope that this will continue. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to address students and the audience of this program, and I wish for success of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Your presence has definitely given us a lot of encouragement and confidence. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request Mr. Rajit Sikka, Head Academic Relations, North India, Tata Consultancy Services Limited, to interact with the audience, please.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much for inviting TCS to be a part of the session today. And thank you very much to all my dear professors and all my students to come for this session today. TCS has been having a relationship with the academia since the past 5.5 decades. About 2 decades back at TCS, formulated an academic interface program group to have a robust relationship with the academia. What we do as a part of academic interface program at TCS is, we do a lot of student connect programs. We do a lot of faculty connect programs. We do a lot of internships. We do a lot of gaming contests. We keep getting involved with the academia somehow, so that somehow my people are a part of governing council or board of studies or academic councils of campuses of eminent colleges, so that we could give you what the industry is doing today, and somewhere where the academia is not at par with the industry, we could bridge that gap and come together. And we keep doing some sessions. So today my session is will be taken by my colleague all the way from Germany. So I was once when I'll tell you how this program got conceived. So I remember about Tasim and I have been interacting since the past almost about one and a half decades, and so on and so forth. So Tasim, once we have an internal messaging system with us. So one fine day, it was, I think, about 1:30 in the night or something. Tasim had just sent me on my chat that, "Hello, can we speak?" And that's how this session got conceived, and that's how we are here today. When my colleague is going to take a session on technology trends, corporate culture, corporate governance, and corporate growth, and the emerging technologies which are there in today's world, which could be incorporated by my young students, because they're the guys who are going to run our industry tomorrow. So it's always it's a vicious cycle in which Tata Group or TCS believes in, that whatever we earn has to go back to society. So that's how we are here today. So my only request to all my students here would be, please ask as many questions to the panel. I'm sure the team would love to answer all your questions. And in future as well, if you want TCS to come forward, like Professor just said, that we will keep having more sessions. So I commit on behalf of TCS that yes, we will keep having more and more sessions, more and more technology sessions. Please get back to us, and I'm sure we will take forward more and more sessions for the benefit of my academia and for the benefit of my students. So thank you very much, and really humbled to be a part of the session today. Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, Tasim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rajit Sikka, for enlightening audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to welcome our speaker today, and to introduce him to the audience, may I request the very energetic and dynamic chairperson of the Department of Computer Science and also the convener of this event, Professor Asim Zafar Sahab. It is indeed a proud moment for him as a teacher to introduce one of our illustrious students. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Asim Zafar for you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Arman Rasool Faridi. Respected Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali Sahab, Dean, Faculty of Science, AMU. Eminent resource person, Mr. Tahseen Ahmed. Mr. Rajit Sikka, Head, AIP, TCS. Respected Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan Sahab, Director, Computer Center. Dr. Muhammad Nadeem, Training and Placement Officer, Department of Computer Science. All the esteemed faculty members of the Department of Computer Science. Dr. Arman Rasool Faridi, coordinator of this workshop. Our valued alumni joining this event from different parts of the world, distinguished guests and participants. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all of you. And good morning and good afternoon for those participants joining from different time zones. It's my great pleasure to welcome all the participants to the webinar on technology trends, corporate culture, and career growth. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. I would like to use this opportunity to mention a special thanks to the Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Qazi Mazhar Ali Sahab, who despite his busy schedule spared his valuable time to grace this occasion with his benign presence. Sir, your presence has always been a source of inspiration for all of us. We value it. I would like to appreciate the efforts of Mr. Rajit Sikka of TCS, who has been instrumental in coordinating with concerned parties and making this event to happen. I feel honored to express my sincere appreciations to Mr. Rajit Sikka, and I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I would like to use this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan Sahab, Director, Computer Center, who is the linchpin of IT services of this university. We very much appreciate his always ready to help nature and making all online events a reality by providing quality IT services to the university users. Thanks for your untiring efforts, Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan Sahab. Dr. Arman Rasool Faridi has already talked about the aims and objective of this workshop. So I will not take that much time in that, and I will directly come to the introduction part of today's speaker, Mr. Tahseen Ahmed. I very much appreciate the kind gesture of Mr. Tahseen Ahmed, a proud alumnus of the Department of Computer Science, who despite his hectic schedule agreed to share his experiences, interact with the students of AMU, and guide them to a better career prospect. I, on behalf of the Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, extend a heartiest welcome to today's speaker, Mr. Tahseen Ahmed. Mr. Tahseen Ahmed is currently working as Sales and Solutions Head, Central Europe, Cognitive Business Operations, IT Infrastructure Services, and located in Düsseldorf, Germany. In his current role, he successfully led to win multi-million deals for TCS CBO. His unit is currently leading contributor to TCS growth in geography. Mr. Tahseen has 22 years of experience, including more than 17 years in TCS in multiple areas like sales and solutions, merger and acquisitions, delivery, solution and transition, and transformations of IT infrastructure and cyber security. He has played various roles in his career, including segment head for CBO Life Sciences, Europe, Global Transition and Transformations Head, TCS Cyber Security Unit, Global Solutions Head for TCS Managed Security Services, etc. He was associated with various large opportunities and deliveries for TCS and played a crucial role in all of these. Mr. Tahseen has started his career by joining Unit Trust of India as Assistant Manager IT and very soon got promoted to manager IT before he moved to TCS within 4.5 years' time. During his tenure at Unit Trust of India, he has been instrumental in establishing Central Data Center and Central Processing Center for UTI, which was major business transformations from the company. In a nutshell, Mr. Tehseen has a varied experience in IT industry and is well suited to deliver a talk on the topic technology trends, corporate culture, and career growth. I trust our students and the audience will be much benefited. I would like to invite Mr. Tehseen Ahmed to please deliver his talk and thereafter interact with our students in question answer session. Mr. Tehseen Ahmed Khan.
Thank you very much, sir. Respected Professor Qazi Majid Ali Saab, Dean Faculty of Science. Respected Professor Asim Jafar Saab, Chairperson, Department of Computer Science. Respected Dr. Rahman, organizer for this event. Respected Dr. Parvez Mahmood Khan Saab, Director, Computer Center. And respected my esteemed colleague Rajit Sikka Saab. My distinguished respected teachers, participants, my friends and colleagues, Assalamu alaikum, good evening, and I hope we have been joined by our global friends and colleagues from different parts of the world. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. First of all, it's my privilege and I am really honored to join this event, to be part of this event and associated with Department of Computer Science, associated with the Faculty of Science, and obviously part of Aligarh Muslim University. I am always privileged and honored to being a student of AMU, especially Faculty of Science and Department of Computer Science. I will also like to say my sincere thanks to Professor Qazi Majid Ali Saab, Dr. Saab, and I am really elated to participate in this event. Before I start on the topic, I would like to remind and I would like to state here that I was also associated and I was a student of Department of Statistics during my graduation, where at that point of time, Professor Qazi Majid Ali Saab was also a professor. And in our early days, we were very much associated, and Computer Center was very, very instrumental in order to give a foundation to our career. That point of time, Professor Ikram Saab was there, and we have a very limited internet connectivity to Computer Center, and we started from that point of time. So I am really feeling proud to associated with such situation, and we started our career from there, and then I got selected in Unit Trust of India. From there, I moved to Tata Consultancy Services. At the same time, while I got my degree and I got a foundation stone from Department of Computer Science, I'm really thankful to Tata Consultancy Services, which has provided me tremendous platform to understand the technology, to understand the corporate environment, to get varied experience across the globe. And I am proud to be associated with TCS. And you might have heard in the news that like our founder, Jamshedji Tata, is the century philanthropist, selected as a century philanthropist who has contributed back to society in entire century. So more than $100 billion of the money has been contributed to the society by Tata Group. So I am really proud to be associated with the Tata Group, TCS, and AMU. Thank you very much. And let's start on the topic, technology trends, corporate culture, and career growth. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
So before we start on the topic, what are the technologies? So what is corporate culture? How our career is progressing across the corporate? So I would like to say a couple of things. I will not get into the detail of what is IT, what is cloud computing, what is IoT and all those things. I know we have maximum participation from the students. We have our teachers who are teaching in the department, in faculties. So I will not touch upon the detail of those things, but I will try to give an overview how this technology is evolving, how corporate is adopting, and how it is benefiting the business and transforming the business. In order to state that, see, TCS has created a theme, building on belief. And I would like to start from that. If you'll see the circle, so in that circle, there are three key important points. One is purpose-led, second is growth and transformation, third is strategic business partner. So in today's scenario, whatever technology is being evolved, whatever is being adopted by our corporates or industries, it's all purpose driven. It all has some or other purpose, some or other target, some or other growth, and based upon that, technology is getting evolved, its business is getting transformed, and it's being enabled to achieve the required business target. So that's the theme. And how that can be achieved? So first thing, we have to believe in ourselves. Second, we have to move towards the certainty with confidence. And how we should achieve that? Again, we have target three things. First is, being in industry, we should be customer centric. We should not be only driven by technology, but we should understand what is the user requirement. And from user, what I mean here, user can be one individual who is going and subscribing for internet services. User can be an industry, user can be a hospital, user can be a road transport agency, user can be anything. And accordingly, based upon user and customer requirement, we have to evolve and we have to adopt the technology. In order to achieve that, we need to have technology experts. So that is another critical component. And last but not least, how are we delivering that? That's very important. So delivery excellence is the key to success in the industry. So moving to next slide. Now here is like I'm trying to give a very different aspect of industry and very different aspect of the thought. Whatever we are doing, it should be future led. We have to come out of our traditional mindset, be it is software development, be it is IT infrastructure, be it is internet, and so on and so forth. We have to think how we can enable the business with zero touch. So zero touch means user should be able to achieve whatever he needs, him or herself. Then in order to achieve that, we need to diagnose, we need to detect. Based upon that, we need to analyze, we need to resolve. In order to do that, there can be next generation technologies. It is augmented by our experience, our learning, and adaptability. So these are the few key themes in order to gain, achieve, and target and transform our future industry, our career, and the business. Now, so what does this mean for our customers? What does this mean for our users? What does this mean for the business? So the focus is on the journey of a user, not on the life cycle of technology or device. What I mean that all whatever we want to achieve, it has to be achieved for the user. And as I said, user can be anything. So we should not, normally we had a mindset and we have a mindset that this is possible by technology and this is not possible by technology. What I have seen so far, if we have commitment, if we have dedication, we can achieve everything by our commitment and dedication, by researching and finding the way out. The live example is the COVID situation, where nobody has thought about the situation which we are into it as of now and how we will cope up with that. Fortunately, we have came with a flying colors, especially the information technology industry. There was initially a lot of hesitations, how people will work from home, how we can support our users, how we can support our business, but it happens within no time. So again here, our purpose, our need, that has given a huge foundation to come up with the new technology, everything, and cope up with the situation. Again here, I will give you another example that normally we know nowadays that there are call centers, there are support desks, technology desks. If we have any problem, they connect us remotely and they troubleshoot our problems. At the same time, we have a limitations, or we had a limitation. If our computer is not on the network, because they used to take the remote control of our computer. So if our computer is not on a network, so they cannot do. So they guide us over phone, do this, do this, do this. Now in today's world, in today's scenario, it's not that a limitation. Even an individual, a technician can take your computer, your laptop remote using your serial number. So such is the technology and advancement. So we have, it's a journey and we need to focus on a journey. Now, how to achieve that? You might be seeing a very, very different aspect, or you might be thinking why I'm talking this way and not focusing on technology. If you will see the first thing we need to be contextual. Contextual means I have to map the business mindset. I have to map the user need. So and that's the reason in today's scenario, even TCS has a huge initiative to have contextual masters. We have thousands of contextual masters within the TCS itself. And this is to understand customer requirement, map their mind, map their need, and then accordingly drive our solution. Second is the agile approach. So we need to be agile. We cannot get everything upfront. As I said, COVID situation, nobody anticipated, but we have to evolve with the situation. Third most important aspect is collaborative. So we need to collaborate from all aspects. It is user, or it is consumer, or it is technology, or it is supplier, right from top to bottom. We need to be very collaborative. In order to have effective collaboration, communication is the key. So we need to have effective communication. Then fourth important element is the digitization. So we need to be digital. We need to utilize, now here we need to utilize, not only utilize the technology, but we have to see how we can evolve that to meet the need. And obviously, last but not least is the business. So with all these four elements, how we can leverage that and enable the business to achieve the required growth and business target. Now, how to achieve this journey? So we talk about those 5 elements. Now, in order to achieve this journey, this user journey, business journey, consumer journey, so 3 important aspects. It has to be again user centricity, utmost important criteria. Then now, which is very prevalent in current scenario, location independence. Till last year, Feb 2020, I will say, nobody was thinking that a person can work from a remote village. We used to have a very good corporate building in every part of metro cities, be it Gurgaon, be it Noida, be it Germany or US, New Jersey, and then rocket shooting, property cost and all those things. So now this has gone and we realize that we need to be location independence. At the same time, we can get a better talent because people may have their own limitations to be in a particular city, to be in a particular country. So that is another important part. And then for sure, resilient delivery, which I spoke about the delivery excellence. And now this resilient delivery, I will not touch each and every topic, but how this resilient delivery is very important nowadays by enabling 3 things. One is intelligent and cognitive business. And why I am going to emphasize more on cognitive business, not because I am part of cognitive business unit of TCS, but this is the new world. This is the new era where people are getting everything integrated with a smart automation, a smart intelligence, flexible delivery. And now there's a situation where we are getting into hyper automation. So we need to capture all those things, bring everything together. I will give you one example here so that it should not sound more theoretical. In a university or in a industry, there are multiple IT systems. So there used to be in IT world, we used to have a network operating center called NOC or command center, where a team of associates, team of colleagues used to monitor the entire system, be it as a medical device or be it a network or be it a server, a storage, everything. And in case everything is non-functional, is going down immediately within no second, it throw an alert, and we used to, our team used to act and mitigate it. So that's the network operating center. At the same time, in parallel, we used to have application monitoring center, where we used to monitor all the applications that this application for hospital services, this application for airlines, where it has to be 100% up so that everything is monitored. So that is the another aspect. Third aspect is like technology support. Now there is a situation where we need an integrated view of network operating center, application monitoring, technical support. And this is where this cognitive business brings value. So it provides a platform where from one window you can monitor everything. And everything means everything, not only the monitoring, but it provides a great governance to the management to take right decisions, to mitigate the situation, and enable the business to achieve more and better growth. And one of the key aspects I will touch here is the cybersecurity complexity and privacy, which is very, very important in today's world. Otherwise, in spite of all our effort, if our IT systems are not secured, then we can land into troubles. So that is another important aspect which we need to take care of. And then you can see that distributed cloud, anywhere operation and all those things. So this is the way to achieve our new journey. So now how this journey will be enabled. So this will be enabled by multiple technologies. In past, we have heard about programming languages, C, Java, now Python, and Fortran, COBOL, and all those things. In my time, even like in our first year of MCA, we have studied Fortran. And again, I remember, and I'm happy to say that time Professor Asim Jafar was there, and he is and he was a visionary. That time also, in spite of all limitations, he enabled us to learn C, C++, and other things. And then he was instrumental to changing the syllabus and all those things. And then I I can recall also Dr. Arman Rasul Faridi when he started our collaboration paper. That was collaboration and e-commerce. That was like it was how we cannot imagine, and we were thinking how all these things happen, and it had happened. So, my dear students, you are fortunate enough to have our distinguished teachers who are still there to provide their services to not only institute but to the community, to the society, and to the country. So again, coming back to the topic. So now, from those time to this time, what are the new technology trend? If you will see, we have to come out from the tradition. And the first topic I put here is, and first technology is democratization of technology. What does it mean? It's a very simple word. I have put it that way. Democracy in technology. So democracy, you all understand. What is it? So we need to hear everybody. We need to take all technologies together. And there is nothing good, nothing bad. So we have to select the right technology in order to achieve this. Then human augmentation. And then one of the most important element here is again distributed cloud. So now by the time like you might be having that cloud technology, cloud computing, and all these things. So that is another one. Edge computing, this sounds might be new, but this is a coined name of bringing user close to technology. So, and especially computing. So whenever we used to log in remotely, we used to face like slow connectivity and all those things. Like today we are talking sitting in different part of the world. So this is edge computing. And this is how we are accessing our compute. Compute means processors, CPU, storage, and all the applications, so all things together. So this is how we are accessing it. So there is a situation where a communication or network channel brought us together, and this is called edge computing. Obviously, data storage and computation. And the another important aspect I would like to touch upon here is personal profiling. This is very important, and this is somehow resonate with my previous point on contextualization. So we need to understand user need, and we need to do the profile mapping. Nowadays, in today's world, user persona, we call it also. So that user persona is very important. Say, I will take one example. A person working in a manufacturing unit, what does he need? As per his need, I need to do his profiling and enable that technology. Now, a user serving patients in hospital, what does he need? So I have to do this user profiling accordingly and enable the technology. This is very important aspect of today's world. And then AI, then data policing, which is security, automation, and all these things. The other important aspect is reskilling human workforce. TCS is very well on top of this, and so are the other IT industry, IT companies. So here now, the key and important point is if I am a C++ expert, so I cannot be for 30 years, I cannot be C++ expert. I have to learn new technology. So it's my initiative also that I should learn, At the same time, nowadays, IT companies, organizations, irrespective of industry, they are also very well focused on this reskilling of human workforce, so that we can learn new technologies, we can come out from the old mindset. And here the theme is, earlier we used to say we need to learn. Now the new theme is unlearn and learn. Means I know something and then I will have that mindset. Now the point is, I will not come out from that mindset. It's a human psychology. So first, I need to unlearn. Once I will forget everything, then only I'll be able to digest the new thing. So unlearn and learn is the key mantra for the success here. Then obviously 5G network, you all might be hearing autonomous driving and all those things. So, and the last but not least, I will say DARQ. Again, this is a kind of new terminology, but it constitutes four things. There is a distributed laser technology, then AI, A is for AI, and then R is for extended reality, and then Q is for quantum computing. So these are the few technologies. You can go dig out the book, dig out the internet. There are a hell lot of materials on the internet. You can go through it, and then you can decide like what you need to do, what you need to learn. At the same time, one thing I would like to mention here, that don't select or don't see only AI is the key to success. These all together are the key to success. You have to hover around, you have to navigate here and there, and you have to effectively utilize all these elements to achieve the business growth and the business target. So now this technology trend and business needs translates into opportunities. How this is leading now, based upon our previous slide, and how these technologies are turning into opportunity, and how corporate is structured. So one most important and very easy low-hanging fruit is the application services, where we all know, like being a student of MCA, BCA, or computer science, okay, you can learn all these things, and then you can do the programming, you can become an analyst and all those things. But this is one of the topic that I need to again emphasize and remind that this is one of the element only. You can see another 14 elements over here. And these are the way forward. These are the opportunities. So the second and another most important aspect is IT infrastructure services. Normally in your MCA, your BCA, you all study through programming and all those things. And it's worth to recall here again, and I'm privileged to quote that during our MCA, Professor Asim Jafar Saab, he was always quoting networking paper Tenenbaum. And I read it. When I joined UTI, I started my career with networking, not any application development. And that too 22 years back. That time I didn't stick that, no, I need to focus on programming, I need to grow my career that way. No. And it was my flexibility also, and it might be need of hour also. It was year 1999 when Y2K was very much prevalent. People are very much fearful. So it can be anything. It might be situational, it might be my thought, or it might be the way, whatever the way came to me, I accepted it. So I started my career with networking. Later, we got to know about business process outsourcing, which has become very common as a BPO. Again, this is again translating, but I have put this as a simple term. But now BPO, I will talk about that, but BPO is not a simple BPO now. Then cyber security, and then other topics, AI, automation, cloud, another important aspect. Then customer, now these few last points like customer experience. While I started with user business, again, it will keep on repeating. Because now the focus is on customer, focus is on business, not on technology. Technology will come automatically. So customer experience is very important. How this can be achieved? This can be achieved through data analytics. This can be achieved through digital commerce. This can be achieved through finance and consulting, technology consulting, technology innovation. So that's what customer experience in the center of everything, and we have to achieve that. Here I will like to quote mergers and acquisitions. This sounds much new or unique. I am not sure, or might be familiar to you, all of you. I was associated with this. And in today's world, in today's scenario, the industry has grown leaps and bounds. So the way industry has grown, it has a different opportunity of merger and acquisition. The way I will take example of Tata Group. So Tata Group as a whole has all kinds of business, all kind of industry, well into IT, then I will say SART to everything. So Tata has a product called SALT, then tea, then software, then motors, power, everything. So the way it has grown, by virtue of that, industry has grown leaps and bounds. And if you take multiple example, then industry has augmented based upon the situation. And then let me quote one example, not for Tata, but any other example from, say, let's take example of life sciences industry, where you all use or might have used aspirin, which is a medicine for headache. So aspirin was invented by a company called Bayer, which is based out of Leverkusen, very close to my place. And you might have heard that football team, which is again sponsored by Bayer. Bayer is the company name. So this Bayer company has not only limited to medicine, but they got into vegetable seeds, they got into animal science, they got into animal health, they got into hospital industry. So the way industry has grown, so they have expanded their wings all across. And then later they have realized they are too big to focus on their core business. And that is happening across the industry. Now, since they are too big to manage their core business, again, they started carving out. Say Bayer as a company, it has vegetable seeds as one of unit. So it decided, let me carve out my vegetable seeds business. I will not focus on vegetable seeds. I will focus on my life sciences business. Similarly, you might have seen, and why I am taking these examples, because this is being used in our daily life. You use all those kind of medicines. Eli Lilly, another US based company. So they also into production of a lot of medicines, medical equipments, and all those things. They had also vegetable seeds. They have also animal health business. They also carved out. And then a new company came up, which only focused on animal health. So that company bought the carve out business of Eli Lilly. That company bought the carve out animal health business of Bayer. Again, as I said, I was associated with this carve out. I led the infrastructure part for all these carve out. And then a new company got created called Elanco. And now Elanco is very much focused on animal health business. So this is the way industry is evolving. And here there are enough opportunity. See, it's not only the technology, but the kind of domain knowledge you get, the kind of experience you get. And this involves lot many things. How a company can be carved out, how a new company can be created, how I can build end-to-end infrastructure, IT infrastructure, end-to-end application landscape, end-to-end compute, storage, everything for a new company. So this is a tremendous experience. And this has to go through OCM. What is OCM? OCM is organizational change management. So OCM plays a critical role in all those things. So there are enough opportunity. So we should not, my dearest, we should not limit ourselves to any particular technology. We should understand the business and I will encourage all of you to get connected with the industry, get connected. At least now you all have access to internet and everything. Whenever you see anything in the news, nowadays everything comes on Times of India, NDTV, everywhere, right? Whenever you see a news article, you try to read through it. You will get some technology into it, some business opportunity into it. So in the interest of time, I will keep on moving. So let's talk about facts and figures. What are, which is leading to these opportunities. So right now, till now, it sounds theoretical and all those things. So let's talk about some facts. So these are the facts and these are the figures in billions. How this industry is evolving. Say from 2018 to 2023. It's almost this ICT. ICT is information and communication technology. So I purposefully kept that because IT is not alone. Communication is now integrated with IT. So I purposefully called out ICT. And there are various research reports on that. You can search Gartner, Forrester. There are many more. So IDC, I got this from IDC. IDC is the another research agency. So you can go internet and search these things. You will get the figures. So if you will see here, in 2023, it's going to touch, this industry is going to touch $6,000 billion business. It's a huge. And now if you will see out of that, there are different classification. There is a hardware, there is a software. So the bottom one is the hardware. The next one is the software. You can think about those, just see, look at it, the rectangles. Then services, then telecom, and then the orange one is the new technology. If you will see, the light blue color of the software is one of the part of it, and it cannot solve the purpose alone. So there has to be a foundation. We need to provide the required IT services. This needs to be enabled by telecom or communication, and obviously by adopting new technologies. So this is the industry, and there we have to think broadly how we can even evolve our career and how this gives us tremendous opportunities. Let's talk about some more facts. So I put a couple of things to just, I will not go through more details, but just I will try to touch upon it. If you will see this blue color. So this is traditional data center, which was where they are in 2015. If you will see this blue color box rectangle, this is going down. So by 2021, this has gone down. So this is the traditional data center, traditional IT foundation. And then this is a second one, this is increasing. This is public cloud. Then the third one, this is again increasing. This is private cloud. So what do we understand? Means the world is moving towards cloud. So be is a public cloud or be it private cloud, but world is moving towards cloud. And so we should also explore those areas, like how we find our opportunity, how we can grow, how we can learn, and then leverage those things, those informations to shape up our career. This is just a bar chart for how this cloud is going to grow. So again, this is going to grow in billions. This is more than, I'm sorry, this is very small, so it might be difficult to read, but it is 300 plus billion industry, which will be growing by 2027. And then the last one, this cloud will again translate into multiple things. So this is called desktop as a service. And then this is called infrastructure as a service, application as a service, platform as a service. So this has to grow. This is the new way of living, new way of business, and new way of industry. And I I will say you might be seeing DaaS, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. So here, let me quote, I was talking about business process outsourcing. So this is called Cloud Business Process Services, BPaaS. Now, they are not expecting, industry or business is not expecting to call a call center and troubleshoot or provide a particular situation and then get it mitigated. No, they are expecting even business as a platform, and that needs to be serviced by industry. So that is called BPaaS. So in a nutshell, we are moving towards XaaS. XaaS is anything as a service. It's not mentioned here, but XaaS means anything as a service. So it's not an application layer, it's not an infra layer, it's all together, including business. So we have to not now support the business, but we are the business. We have to provide the business services, which can be desktop or compute or platform or anything. Moving on. Now, how this deployment is going to lead to new world. See, this is again, I will quickly touch upon traditional on-premise IT infrastructure, data center, application, databases, operating system, virtualization, physical servers, network, data center, all traditional stuff, completely traditional stuff. But the way it is moving now, that, and the another thing I would like to quote here, and I think purposefully I kept this slide. If you will see this light blue color box, self-managed. So earlier, the companies, irrespective of the industry, as I said, I joined, I started my career with UTI, Unit Trust of India. So that time UTI was building all these things. So, and that's what I got associated with building the new data center, new processing center and everything. So they were centralizing everything, their application, their database. Before that, it was completely distributed across all the branches, 65 branches across the country, and then posting was SAP posting, everything was happening local in the localized manner. But in the 2099 and 2001, they have started that initiative. So just I'm trying to correlate from there. So these were the traditional. So then UTI company like UTI, which is a mutual fund company, then same for the banking industry, same for the manufacturing industry. They have tried to build their own stuff and try to service their business. Slowly they started moving. Then this is called co-location. So slowly they said, no, data center I don't want to own, because data center, managing the facility, managing the building and all those things, this is not my business. My business is mutual fund. I need to focus on my business. But it cannot happen in a day. So they started with the data center. Then slowly move on to, okay, network, let me outsource. Then physical servers, let me outsource. Then let me virtualize. Then let me also get a stack. So if you see operating system, virtual servers, network, data center, all comes as a stack, right? Then on top of that, application was added. So now this only data privacy part, since privacy compliance regulation is associated with this. So now mostly this is still controlled. Otherwise, most of the thing has been moved to supplier. And here we need to play a bigger role, and we are playing a bigger role as a IT industry. So these are the, and here we have to shape up our career, shape up our growth, build our growth. So it's essential to understand how industry is moving, and accordingly, again, I have to shape up my learning, I have to shape up my industry, I have to shape up my growth, and at the same time, I have to enable business for the organization. This is the way we have to move. This I kept just to give you a glimpse that during COVID time, all this how this trending is impacting and depending on future forecast. So if you will see over the overall IT market, there is a moderate growth, business consulting, moderate growth, risk management, moderate growth, application, moderate growth, right? that you can see infrastructure as a service. Again, I'm not saying because I am associated with IT infrastructure services, but I'm saying this is a strong growth. And this is not my words. This is done, research has been done by Forrester. So Forrester is saying a strong growth because this is the platform. IaaS is the platform. We have to build everything. And then BPaaS, a strong growth. So this is the business process as a service. So don't think that desktop support or BPO or these are the low-end jobs. No, these are no way low-end jobs. These all are getting translated and transformed into a different kind of business. And we need to focus on there. And then the another aspect of looking at is CIO perspective, how CIOs are looking at it. So if you will see, CIOs are looking at technology consulting. CIOs are looking at implementation to transform. Rest of the things are in run operation, but they also need to transform. So they are looking towards us, us means IT industry, how we can consult them, how we can enable them so that they can transform their business and leverage the technology. Now I would like to quote a few of the benefits which is being enabled. So if you see a lot of data breaches and earlier like hacking and all those things were happening. So transformations, there is the improved security. This has been significantly improved. Stat says 76% improved. Then improved BCPDR. This is business continuity and disaster recovery. This is another aspect, important aspect of IT industry and any industry. If they don't have the required BCP and DR, so business can fail and we will not be able to provide the critical services, which is important to survive in the industry. Like for airlines industry, they cannot tolerate a downtime of 1 second. Hospital industry, healthcare, they cannot tolerate a downtime of even 1 second because there are several patients who are on life-saving drugs. Those life-saving drugs are kept very close to those patients, and those patients are very closely monitored. So why I am quoting this? While you can see these are the benefit realized, but these each line item have some or other opportunities for you. Say now you take an increase speed of application upgrade. How we can do that? Right? Reduce hardware and software maintenance burden. How we can do that? Earlier, when we have started our career, we have to buy a hardware, we have to buy a server. It has to go through procurement, and then the shipping needs to be done. I still remember when we were getting a centralized server for the UTI in 2001. The mandatory requirement was server should not be tilted more than 15 degrees. Otherwise, it may go faulty. So those kind of limitations were there in those time. Nowadays, it's not there. Like virtualization is playing key role, and this is benefiting the business. So these all contain some or other opportunity for all of us. And it's not only for you, for me as well, for all of our colleagues as well. We have to transform ourselves, we have to learn, and then we have to talk accordingly. Now moving on. So what is the industry? These are mostly that section was towards technology and how technology is getting enabled and being utilized by industry and how it is leading for the opportunities. So just to give you a quick glimpse of what are the types of industry, and how IT companies can fit into it. So if you will see, there are multiple types of IT industry: manufacturing, travel, tourism, life sciences, pharmaceutical, telecommunication, healthcare, media communication, telecommunication, energy resources, utility. These are the different industry. And again, this resonates well with few of the call outs like contextualization, personification, business mapping. So if I am working in a manufacturing company, being even IT person, I need to map their mind share. I need to understand that mind share. So, and that's where that design thinking play a crucial role. So once you get into the industry, then you will go through various trainings and all those things where you will have design thinking and all those things. So we need to understand all these domains. It's again, I am emphasizing, it's not only software development. We need to focus our major part on the domain knowledge, understanding the industry, understanding the users, understanding the business. And that's what I called out each and every, like retail. So in Germany, in today's world, retail is most hit out of COVID. Manufacturing is the another hit out of COVID. However, they quickly transformed themselves. They went online. You might have seen in India also, everywhere. They went online. They started selling it and all those things so that they can sustain with the business, right? So these are the different industry, and then these are the three key aspect of IT where we have our career, and there we can grow ourselves. So one is the IT services companies like TCS and any of our competitors. Second part is the consulting and advisory like KPMG, McKinsey, Forrester, Gartner. And then third, another most important part is the product companies who produces all these things. Say Azure cloud, say AWS cloud, say network devices. Cisco is the leader in manufacturing network devices. More than 70% of the network devices are being manufactured by Cisco. So SAP, so all these things. So they are the product companies. So we can foresee our career there as well. We should not think that like we are limited here, we are limited here. There are several cybersecurity product companies who creates different kind of cybersecurity products, different kind of application they create like SAP and any other company. So these are the different avenues, aspects where we should think and we should explore our career. And not to forget all these, the left hand side, all these industries, all of them have their IT department. Like say, for example, I started from here, this banking and financial. So this was a mutual fund for me. And then I jumped to this IT services. So now how this is translating into the corporate structure. If you have seen the previous slide, and if you will see this, so this corporate structure is in line with the industry. TCS, as an example, you can go to tcs.com and you can see all these things. I took it from there purposefully so that you can correlate very well. And I don't want to put any jargons. So if you go to tcs.com, you will find all these things. So I spoke about banking, financial, communication, energy, resource, information, life sciences, and healthcare. So TCS has been clubbed and organized in a way that we have multiple industry service unit. We'll have different kind of resources in terms of associate, domain knowledge, and everything. And each of the unit is headed by one person. So it acts as a one unit, like one company. So this is the one aspect, and they bring the domain knowledge. That's what, as a software developer, analyst, and everything, we need to understand the domain knowledge, nuances of the industry, ifs and buts of the industry, and then we have to groom ourselves. Then the second important aspect is the service lines, or another way it has been called as a horizontals. So while I spoke about cognitive business, cloud, consulting, analytics, IoT, and everything, right? And so all these things, while these are the verticals, but these verticals are heavily dependent on these horizontals. Without this vertical cannot survive. And cognitive business, cloud infrastructure, again, these are the huge unit. This cognitive business unit is almost 25% of the TCS itself. And then at the same time, every IT company, they have their own product. They have created like TCS created Ignio, Xyle, and a lot many, Mastercraft, banks. This is TCS Banks is one of the product of TCS BFSI unit, which is being heavily sold and marketed, and it's heavily utilized across the globe. So this is the way corporate has been structured. IT companies has been structured to resonate well, to align to align with the industry and meet the industry needs. Now, I would like to focus a little bit more how to provide you more detail about this cognitive business, this cloud infrastructure, so that you can have a little bit drilled down, and then you can also focus, you can go back and you can search that how these things are being shaped up and how it will be beneficial for your career as well. So even within TCS also, this is cognitive business operation. This includes IT infrastructure services. This includes business process services. SAP, this is one of the financial part of it. So SAP operations, Oracle operations. And then again, whatever I talk about the technology in my initial part, you can see intelligent automation, analytics, Internet of Things, blockchain, cyber security, cloud services. This is so TCS has a focused unit, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, then Azure, then TCS own private cloud. So this is the way industry is structured, and any of these boxes is a career for us. Any of these boxes, and then we have to think towards effectively utilizing it. So moving on. So quickly, I will touch upon this IT infrastructure. Now, since I was more talking on a little bit high level on different technology aspect, I'm trying to drill down how this will give you and from where you can start. There are multiple aspects. So while on the previous slide, this one I spoke about cognitive business or cloud infrastructure or consulting, then we move on to this cognitive business includes IT infrastructure services. So now I'm moving to how this IT infrastructure services contains the multiple aspect of technology, multiple aspect of our career aspiration. So this consists of agile computing services. This is nothing but traditional data center services, where I was putting about DAS and all those things. So this is one of the core aspect where we have enough opportunity to shape up our career, enough opportunity to learn and understand and contribute to organization and shape up our career as well. Then I would like to quote this part, digital workplace services. I'm not sure as a student how much familiar you are, but for sure you are familiar that a desktop needs to be troubleshooted, which is being considered as a low-end job, that I have to go to individual desktop and then I have to troubleshoot, fix his IP address, fix his internet, fix his application, fix his Windows. No, yeah, that was the traditional workplace support or the traditional desktop laptop support. We are moving into digital workplace era. We are moving into analytics. We are moving into automation. So how technology and how we can provide, we can consult, we can become a technology or consulting or advisor to the companies to mitigate that situation. And as in the beginning, I told about the zero touch. How can I achieve this zero touch? That is very important. And that's what we need to learn. And there is a huge business and opportunities over here. I myself, I cannot quote due to my limitations of our business, but across the industry, there are billion-dollar opportunities only in the digital workplace area. And every IT company is pursuing those opportunities. That's the way. Earlier, when we were sitting in an office or any, say, UTI or any SBI, State Bank of India, So in SBI corporate office, 2,000 people are sitting in one office. So we can deploy 5 engineers and then they can support. No, now that is not possible. Most of the people are working from home. And you might have heard in the media also that TCS has a vision to achieve 25-75, means 25% only working from office and 75% working from home by 2025. So a desktop engineer cannot go to every individual and their respective houses and homes. So how technology can enable, how we can enable the business and consult them so that we can achieve that. So that's the important aspect of it. And I will not get into the other details, but there are other opportunities like these are the platforms, mainframe, batch services, database, middleware services, lot of things are there. And then maybe you may not have heard about service management. So this is called ITSM. It's very small font written, IT service management. So this is the another aspect to control entire IT services. So that is another opportunity where we can look into it. You can shape up your career. So I will talk a little bit more about considering the time also on this workplace part, because I want to give you a little bit more insight so that you can go and dig it out. I cannot cover everything, and if there will be opportunity again, or even our respected teachers, they can organize the specific topic, and then as alumni, we all can contribute, we can come. But I want to give a prospect, like how this workplace is shaping up and how it is creating a huge business for the IT industry. I talk about zero touch. So next gen workplace and how user will have their experience. That's the principle of this entire approach and entire initiative. Then it should be supported remotely, collaborative, it should be secured. Few key aspects to touch this. How we can do it remotely. As I quoted one example, I can take your control of your laptop or desktop, I can service. But if your internet itself is down or your system is down, how can I take the control? So there is a technology available by Intel and other product companies. With your serial number, I can take a control. Even your laptop or the desktop is switched off, I can take the control. That's the remote services, and that's the technology we need to enable. And how all these things are happening. So again, this is being enabled by IT infrastructure, be it on-premise. On-premise means we can have our own data center or IT infrastructure, be it private or public cloud. Then there are different examples like AWS, Google. So now these platforms, IT infra platforms, are supporting these initiatives, right? And these are the platforms which is enabling this entire game. And again, this has three aspects. First aspect is we need to understand the technology so that I can build the IT infra foundation to enable these services. First. Second aspect is security. While earlier we were working from office, it was secured environment, all regulations were in place. Now we are working from home. How to enable that? So you can use your laptop, you can use your tab, but you can log into VDI, virtual desktop interface, and you can log into VDI, you can access everything there, you can do your job there, and then you can shut down your VDI, you are done. So everything is safe, secured, and in the under company regulations. So that's the way we have to enable the platform. In order to, again, so while we are talking about workplace services, but now we started talking about cloud, we started talking about data center, we started talking about infrastructure, we started talking about security. So it's a combination of multiple things. And at the same time, how industry is evolving. Now, company like manufacturing or life sciences, Earlier they used to buy their own laptops, their own desktops, their own servers. As I have shown in the previous one of the slide, where they are just focusing on data and data center, everything they are asking IT companies to provide. Now that is the very, very recent trend. Now they have started coming up. I don't want to own even laptop. I don't want to own even desktop. And that's the situation where we are into it. And we are talking about desktop as a service. So how to enable that? Then everything. Now I have to build a laptop. Say if you join TCS or if you join any other company, they have their own operating system while they are using Windows operating system or Linux or any other operating system, but it has been customized to meet the corporate need, to meet the security compliance. Now all these things earlier were done in the office, but now it has to be done remotely. It has to be done all together. So all these things are being collaborated together. Once a laptop is built, operating system is getting installed, entire security controls is being automated and then shipped right from the OEM. OEM, we call it product companies like Dell manufacture laptop. So TCS will collaborate with Dell. TCS will collaborate with Lenovo. TCS will create their own desktop image, own laptop image, and that they will ship it to Lenovo or Dell or any other OEMs. They will have their own software to push it on the laptops. And that finally it will be shipped to the users. And then that user can use it. They will open the laptop. It will ask tick, 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 5, 6, 7 steps, and your laptop is ready for use. So that's the way industry is expecting. So this is one example to enable users. At the same time, now say company like any retail company, say company like in Germany there is Aldi, in India like Big Bazaar and all those things. So they are asking that my employees should also get a laptop or desktop from you only. So you tell me how much you will charge to give a complete package. That is called desktop as a service. And then we have to explore those opportunities, how TCS can do it, how we can partner with OEMs like likes of Dell, how we can do, and even why this is coming up, because there is a terms called CapEx, capital expenditure, and there is another term called OPEX, operational expenditure. So CapEx means I have to invest. If I am starting a company, I have to invest a lot. Or if I have a growth strategy, so in the beginning, maybe if I have a target of achieving 5 billion, so in the beginning, I may have to invest 1 billion. But I don't want to, because if I will invest 1 billion in the beginning, I may run into negative. My profit will go negative. So I don't want to do that. There is a possibility that future it might be profitable, but first year, second year, profit will be very less, or may not be there may not be any profit. So I want, or any industry wants, to move from CapEx to OPEX. And as a technology consultant, we need to understand that it's not only software development or IT infrastructure. We need to understand their financial re-engineering, their financial need, their business need. And accordingly, with technology, we have to transform their CapEx to OPEX. And this is the way, that's what I have taken example of DAS. It's easy to understand. This is the way we can enable, say an organization has 10,000 employees. And if I will take a tech refresh, we call it tech refresh. Why we call it tech refresh? Because every 3 years that warranty used to get expired for any laptop, any desktop. 1 year extended warranty, 4 years. So with a company of 10,000 people, every year they have to refresh 2,500 laptop desktops for their employees. Again, that is a capital expenditure. And while company is into manufacturing business, while company is into banking business, but they are focusing on laptop replacement services or the laptop security, application security. No, what they are saying, I want to focus on my banking. I want to focus on my manufacturing. You come and tell me how much you are going to contribute and how you will take me from CapEx to OPEX, and you can run my business. Now we have to run their business. enabled by technology and business understanding. I will skip this one. So at the end, I would like to touch upon like how these career streams is getting called out in any corporate. So this is a normal depiction. I will not say it's any representation of any company, but it must be close to 70%. I cannot make it 100% closer, but it must be close to 70-80% for any IT company or any product company. So any company, they will have their sales department, they will have their delivery division, they will have their technology division, they will have their CTO organization, R&D, and they will have their corporate and then business process. Now take example of sales. So sales will have their global head. Now since all the organizations are global, so they need to have their global head, then they will have their regional heads. Then in some country, some industry, they call it client partner, some they call it business enabler, business partner, the way we call it. And then the BDM, BRM, so business development managers, business relationship managers. And say, okay, let me touch upon the delivery part where I think we all think about it. That I will become a developer, I will become a programmer or analyst, I will join a company as these roles, and then I will gradually move to project leader, group leader, something like that. But no, that's not the only ladder. From project leader or team leader, you can become a BDM or BRM because you know the technology, and being in the industry now, you have learned the domain. Whatever the industry you are serving, so be in manufacturing, be it life science or whatever it is. So you have acquired the domain knowledge. Now you can move to BDM, BRM. After a certain point of time, you realize, no, I want to focus on technology aspect of it. I don't want to get into this business role or sales role. So then there is an opportunity. Okay, I can become a platform architect. I can become an enterprise architect. And all these things exist in one organization today. It's not like that you have to move. Only thing is that we have to show right attitude, right energy for learning and growing. If we will not show the right energy, then there can be certain challenges. Then this is one of the example I took from the previous one. Say this is the technology aspect of it. So I tried to map it, how your career progression should be if you are part of technology. And then I can quote a couple of other examples. Like 0 to 5 years, you can become a developer or designer. Then 5 to 10 years, you can become a technical architect. Then 10 to 14 years, you can become platform architect. This is just like a depiction. It may be 5 to 8 years, 5 to 9 years, and it all depends upon your potential as well. So 10 to 14 years, you can become a platform or solution architect. 14 to 18 years, you can become an enterprise architect. 18 plus, you can become chief architect, and then CIO, CTO, whatever, and keep on moving. Again, this maps very well with your sales role, with your delivery role. Like 10 to 14 years, you can become a delivery head, delivery lead. 10 to 14 years, you can become a client partner. Like 5 to 10 years, you can become a BDM, BRM. So that's the way our career progression is. Here I have tried to depict a snapshot mapping both the slides I have shown previously. So how an organization or a unit work, like say TCS has a unit of business unit or any unit. I have just taken a simple example. So this is a business unit head, any ABC unit. It will have a global head. So if you'll see, previous two slides are getting merged here. So if you'll see, there will be a global head who will be heading sales and solution. There will be a global head who will be heading the delivery. There will be a technology head who will be heading technology and innovation. And all these streams will have their own roles and responsibilities where you will have enough opportunity to grow, learn, and execute. So this is the bottom of the pyramid where we start as an analyst or as an engineer or COE analyst, and we keep on growing. I have put couple of arrows here and there, like from engineer, I can become a technical lead. From technical lead, I can become a service delivery manager. In between, I am thinking, no, I move to technology. So I can take a parallel shift and I can become a COE consultant. CO is nothing but center of excellence. Center of excellence is focused on a particular technology. So there can be center of excellence for data center, center of excellence for database, center of excellence for mainframe. There can be multiple, it can be hundreds of center of excellence. So as a technical lead or the tower lead, if you want to move towards these specific areas, we can have a lateral move. I'm a service delivery manager. I want to become a solution architect or CO lead. There is a move. I'm a service delivery manager. Now I know the business. I have delivered my business. Being an IT guy, still I know how by this time, I know how the business function, how business can transform. So I can become a business development manager. And I can go to my customers. I can say, I can shape up your business like this. What all you are struggling? You tell me your problem. I can bring my team. I can step in and I can shape up your business. So I can become here as a business development manager. From there, I can go to regional sales, solution head, global solution head. So enough opportunity. And this is the last but not least. One of the, like, I tried to create the combination of all these things. Like the previous 3 slides, I have tried to create a combination. And if you will see, someone can start with a technical lead, maybe earlier as an analyst or something. This is a delivery role. Then move to, say, service delivery manager, another delivery role. Now from here, the individual moves to a solution lead, as a solution lead. Now his responsibility is to provide the solution to the customer. And this role exists within COE, Center of Excellence, or sales, both. From here, he can become a COE lead. From here, he can become a transition and transformation lead. And I'm thankful to Professor Asim Jafar. He has quoted in the beginning few of these roles while introducing myself. So you can try to correlate that also. So this is transition and transformation lead. So this is again part of COE role. From here, again, someone can move to delivery. You can become a segment head. You can become a delivery head. From here, now you know the business. Now you know the region business, actually. Being in Europe, being in the US, being in Mexico, Brazil, anywhere. And it's worth to quote here, there is no boundary. In today's world, we are exposed to entire world. We know the labor regulation of most of the country, how people are functioning in respective country, what are the labor laws, what are the compliance, what are the regulations. So there is no boundary. And you can go to any place, Brazil and Ecuador. Even our team is there in Ecuador also. Our team is there in Mexico also, or so is any IT company. Estonia, Poland, Hungary, wherever you go. So you learn the geo means geography, you learn the business, anyway, you know the IT and you know the domain knowledge. So from here, since you know everything, still again, you can move back to sales. That I can go to any company, any life science company, any manufacturing, any retail company. I can tell how I can transform your business. And then I can get into this role. From here, I can become a sales and delivery head, a global head, whatever it is. And then from here, unit head, obviously, he needs to know everything, be it a sales, be it a solution, be it a technology. And that's what this amalgamation is. So you can navigate here and there. Out of those navigation, you can achieve this level. And from still, there is opportunity. You can become CTO, CIO, CEO, COO. There are enough opportunities. And this is the way industry is growing. And there is no limitation. Last but not least, I would like to close my don't think about, like you might have heard about fresher salary every in the industry, right? TCS or any other organization. So you have to start from a base and foundation. and there is no limitation. You can go and Google how the industry leaders are earning. And there is no, I'm telling you, there is no limitation. I know an individual personally who from this position moved as a consultant role. He created a one-man company. And what he does, he go to any company, any industry, he say, I can transform your IT business in 3 years. He's a consultant. So that company take him as a CTO for 3 years contract. He works on his own terms that 3 years, my salary should be this. I will ensure that you get 50 million. Just I'm quoting one example. So I will get you 50 million benefit out of your IT transformation. So company should be able to save 50 million. And then on top of my salary as a consultant, I will take maybe 1% of 50 million. I will take maybe 5% of 50 million. So whatever the saving I will do in 3 years for your company, I will take a percentage. He does that. He knows within 3 years cycle he can do that. He does that, and then he moves on. I know him from last 10 years. He has already moved from 3 companies, and he has earned millions. And he also started with a like software developer or a trainee. And not and again I was thinking it will be my last example, but not to just to quote our Tata Group chairman, he joined TCS as a software engineer, and he become CEO of TCS. Now he is Tata Group chairman. So that's the potential industry has. That's the way we learn across the industry, across all domains, not limited to only technology, and we can shape up our career. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Arman Rasool Faridi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tahseen Ahmed, for a very interesting and informative presentation. Dear participants, we are now going to begin answering the questions submitted during today's presentation. I'll take these questions one by one. So, Mr. Tahseen, our first participant, he asked a very simple question. He says, "Sir, I'm weak in programming. Can I make a career in IT industry?"
Of course, yes. And I can quote this with one live example. A guy joined TCS, very intelligent guy, but he was not weak in programming, but he was not willing to do the programming. So as I said, there are enough opportunities, enough career to become or to start with analyst, understand the business, and forget about programming. Most of the time I spoke about IT infrastructure, data center, networking. All these does not need any programming. We need to understand IT landscape, how these things are working, and then we can get into maybe I will say we can start with a technical engineer role where programming is not needed. So I have seen so many students who are very, very interested into troubleshooting the technologies, starting with their security stuff, exploiting the vulnerabilities. We can start from anywhere. And it's very, very well possible.
Thank you, Mr. Tahseen. Another question that is again from, I'm very sure, the student. He asks, as a fresher, in which area we should focus? I mean, in core programming or web-based technologies?
It depends. It's a very broad question, but it depends. As I said, we can start with programmer also, with web-based technology also, with database also, with middleware also, even with security, which does not need any programming. We have to use the product company's tools. So if you want to shape up your career, I will suggest to look at the trends in the market and don't stick to the programming. Trend is towards cloud computing, trends is towards cyber security, trends is towards XaaS, anything as a service. So we should focus on that to shape up our career much faster. And then not to cut, and I don't want to confuse also. There are multiple things, IoT, automation, blockchain, but we should not jump to that. We should start with a base. Either it is a database or programming, and then try to learn quickly as much as possible if we want to grow.
Thank you, Mr. Yasin. One of our participants asked, should we focus on technology or process engineering?
I will say, being a student of computer science, we should start with the technology. Understand the base of the technology, nuances of the technologies, exploiting the available situation, and then get into the process aspect of it.
We have another question. It says, sir, nowadays we hear a lot about recent trends like artificial intelligence, like cloud computing, etc. How can we make a career in these areas in TCS or other companies?
It's very well doable. TCS used to have, or I'm not sure about other companies, but still they are doing their own training. But TCS used to have a specific campus recruitment for IT infrastructure group. And even I was part of one of the campus recruitment, and even I was in AMU also, I think 6 or 7 years back. So you can, individual can join that unit. From that unit, there are enough opportunities. You can start with a data center team, and data center team will have this cloud computing and everything of it.
Okay. One more question is coming in. It says, where will we get more career growth? In a startup company or a big company like TCS?
Again, it depends upon the risk appetite and the opportunity. While startup companies pay good, is a good pay master in the beginning, and as I said, TCS or any other standard definition of their salary and perks. At the same time, we should understand the learning and growth aspect. And I don't want to give any individual example, but as I quoted, if a system engineer can become a Tata Group chairman in 25 years, so that itself is an example of joining the industry and gaining the vast experience. That's very important. If we want to earn quick bucks in the beginning, a startup might be helpful, but it may not give the global exposure which any global or large IT company provides. So my preference will be, my recommendation will be, better to join large IT companies and shape up your career based upon your learning.
Another question is also very much related to the previous one. It asks, how much a certification will help us in our career growth?
It will help for sure, because it creates a basic of I will say your career and a start of your career. However, it goes hand in hand. If you join a company, like being a student, we can students can do the of Microsoft or Cisco and all those things. That gives them an edge during the recruitment process. At the same time, to start their career. At the same time, as they grow in the organization, they have to go through multiple certifications, and that helps a lot to shape up their career. No doubt about it.
Thank you, Mr. Yasin. Next question is, how can we make a career in cyber security industry?
Wonderful. Good question. So, and I can answer that in 10 minutes, 15 minutes actually, because I myself was associated with cyber security for 9 years. And again, I say, don't have any kind of fear that we cannot start our career here and there. When I joined TCS, I joined as a tech lead in network and Lotus Notes. And then I have been asked to do identity and access management implementation, which was quite new at that point of time, way back in 2004 and 5. That is one of the part of cybersecurity to control the user profiles across the organization. So we can start with network and get into network security. You start with a database, get into database security. We can start with a data center, get into database security, and build it from there.
Thank you. One more question is, sir, most companies focus on software development and testing. What is the scope of other domains like networking and ethical hacking?
Okay, so as I said, and during my, I think 75 minutes of discussion, that application is one part. And first of all, I will say now companies are not focusing on one application. They are focusing on all other aspects. Infrastructure, cybersecurity are the key component of it. And if you will Google around, you will see on average 15 to 20% or 15 to 25% revenue of any IT company is coming from this IT infrastructure services. So that's a good career growth, and it has to shape up in cloud. As I said, I will say XaaS. So that's the key to go forward.
Very fine. Another very general and very important questions. Is excellent communication skill mandatory for achieving success in industry?
It's an advantage. It's an advantage. But if we have a right technical skill and we have seen the ladder, how the CTO organization grows. CTO organization also go hand in hand. So there we need our technological depth, our analytical skill to prove ourselves. At the same time, and that's a very valid question. I really appreciate that question because that's the fear with a lot of students. At the same time, I can easily say that once you join the industry, there are several initiatives even within the organization which can scale up and ensure that in next 3 to 5 years, the students become an excellent communicator.
Thank you. Probably it seems we have covered almost all our questions. One last question. It says, you said after a time period, the industry grow in a way that it gets difficult to handle it in itself. So they have to carve themselves out. Suppose we end up at the junction, what points should we keep in mind to choose the path forward?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. And it resonates well when I was quoting about carve-out situation. So we have to decide. See, again, I will take that animal health example. If I am part of animal health division and that particular division is being carved out, and again, I have acquired the required knowledge of animal health IT, animal health domain and business. So I should choose very carefully. Obviously, if it is being carved out, I have to well aware about organizational dynamics. That's the very important aspect of it. So if I see I am going to get best fitted as part of the organizational dynamics in the new organization, I should take the call accordingly. If I see myself that I am more suited in the parent organization, so we should pursue that way so that we can fit into the parent organization. So most important part, I think with this, the another message is while we are working in any of the organization, it's important that we understand the dynamics of organization, culture of organization, and evolution of the industry. If we will keep track of these three things, we can shape up ourselves very well.
With that question, this question answer session comes to an end. Mr. Tahsin, you have answered all the questions very well. I'm sure the participant must have been benefited with your rich experience. You have made a wonderful presentation today. I'm really very happy to have you with us. I, on behalf of the Department of Computer Science and the members of the Department of Computer Science, thank you for sparing time for us, and I thank all the participants who attended today's webinar. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science and our speaker, I sincerely thank all the dignitaries and all the participants for being with us this evening. I also extend a special thank to all our alumni who joined us today from the world over. A very special thank to Director Computer Center and his team for providing technical support. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the teachers and everyone of the Department of Computer Science family for their wholehearted support rendered in the success of this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I thank Mr. Tahsin on everyone's behalf, and I thank everybody. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tahsin, for wonderful speech and a wonderful talk. Hope the students might have been benefited from these discussions. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.